Assalamualaikum. I am Talat Suhail. I welcome you all to Virtual University's program on personality psychology. Dear students, today is our lecture number 14, and in this lecture we will be talking about Erik Erikson's personality theory. जनाब लेक्चर नंबर 13 को रीकैप करने से पहले एक बार जो हम लेक्चर नंबर 13 जिस पॉइंट पे एंड हुआ था, वी वर टॉकिंग अबाउट एनाटमी एंड डेस्टिनी. हमने ये कहा कि एरिक एरिक्सन was talking about personality development as a result of number 1 biology, genes, and number 2 the influence of culture. दूसरी तरफ एरिक एरिक्सन बहुत इम्पोर्टेंस देता है सोशल रिलेशनशिप्स को. Another important thing that Erik Erikson is talking about, he is focusing that the differences in the personalities of the two genders is because of social and cultural expectations. So इन तीन चीज़ों के ऊपर एरिक एरिक्सन का बहुत फोकस था. Now his construct of anatomy and destiny is based on his research. He summarized his research on 10 to 12-year-old boys and girls. He asked these boys and girls, these 150 boys and girls, to create scenes from imaginary movies. और कहा ये गया कि इन scenes को बनाने के लिए the toys and the dolls and the blocks of different shapes were provided to the children. And they were asked to construct these scenes on the tables. और ये भी कहा गया कि वो जो डॉल्स और फिगर्स हैं वो कौन से एक्ट्रेस हैं, एक्टर्स हैं, कौन हैं वो जो रिप्रेजेंट कर. टू एरिक्सन्स ग्रेट सरप्राइज, these children created some 450 scenes. जनाब इन 450 सीन्स में उसको दो चीज़ें बड़ी वाज़ेह नज़र आईं. सबसे पहली बात ये कि जस्ट 5 or 6 scenes were created by using information from the movies. The rest of the scenes were created by using imagination. Number 2, सिर्फ इन 5 या 6 scenes में डॉल्स को और फिगर्स को जो नाम दिए गए वो एक्टर्स या एक्ट्रेसेस के दिए गए, बाकी सारे नाम और चीज़ें इमेजिनेशन से ली गई. नाउ एरिक्सन वाज सरप्राइज्ड टू नोट that the scenes created by boys and girls differed. सबसे पहली चीज़ ये देखी गई कि जो थीम थी सीन्स में बॉयज़ और गर्ल्स ने जो सीन्स क्रिएट किए वो फ़र्क थे. For example, it was seen that the girls created static scenes, peaceful scenes, and the boys created scenes with ferocious animals or with very high walls and cannons coming out of these walls. So this difference was noted. Another important thing is that when we are talking about, and this tendency, that is the difference that was observed between boys and girls, that led to his formulation of personality theory के biology and number 2 culture are two important influences in personality development. और दूसरी तरफ the gender differences in the personality development, in the individual differences that we come across between the two genders is due to social and cultural expectations. Dear students, we are talking about Erik Erikson's personality theory. Now, according to Erikson, another important point in his theory is that males are neither better than females nor vice versa. The only important difference between males and females is that both complement each other. बात आपसे हो रही है एरिक एरिक्सन की थ्योरी की, और हमने उसमें कहा कि एरिक एरिक्सन का फोकस जो है वो सोशल रिलेशनशिप्स पे है, दूसरे पर्सनालिटी डेवलपमेंट एज अ रिजल्ट ऑफ जीन्स एंड नंबर 2 कल्चर, और तीसरी चीज जो जेंडर डिफरेंसेस पर्सनालिटी में नजर आते हैं दैट इज बिकॉज ऑफ सोशल एंड कल्चरल एक्सपेक्टेशंस. Erikson is of the view that neither males are superior to female nor vice versa, और ना ही खवातीन आदमियों से superior है, rather both complement one another. Dear students, it was Freud who was talking about anatomy as destiny. He was of the opinion that males are superior. Karen Horney totally rejected this philosophy. She was of the view that females are equal to male. और एरिक एरिक्सन इससे भी एक आगे की तरफ जाता है, वो कहते हैं मेल्स एंड फीमेल्स दे कॉम्प्लीमेंट वन अनदर, they are somehow supporting one another. Neither one gender is superior and the other is not inferior. बिल्कुल ऐसा नहीं है, बल्कि दोनों एक दूसरे को कॉम्प्लीमेंट करें. ये वो एक इम्पॉर्टेंट पॉइंट है एनाटॉमी एंड डेस्टिनी में, which gives a very humanistic positive aspect of human beings के जो आदमी हैं वो औरतों से सुपीरियर नहीं और ना औरतें आदमियों से सुपीरियर हैं, बल्कि दोनों एक दूसरे को कॉम्प्लीमेंट करते हैं. सो दिस इज वन वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट ऑफ हिज थ्योरी. उसके बाद जनाब आपसे बात करनी है विच इज अनदर इम्पॉर्टेंट कॉन्सेप्ट ऑफ हिज थ्योरी एंड दैट इज कॉल्ड ईगो साइकोलॉजी. फॉर फ्रॉइड द रियल जॉब ऑफ द ईगो इज to find realistic ways to satisfy all impulses of the id while not offending or developing a conflict with superego. So for Freud, ego is the master control and it tries to establish a balance between id and superego. तो जनाब बात आपसे हो रही है ईगो साइकोलॉजी की, और हमने ये कहा कि अकॉर्डिंग टू फ्रॉइड ego has a very difficult role. It has to strike a balance between the demands of the id and the demands of the superego, and it has to take a middle way. So ego is having pressure on one side by the id impulses, and without offending the id impulses and without offending the superego impulses, the ego has to mediate, find the middle way between the two, and it has to strike a balance. जब हम ego की बात करते हैं तो the concept or construct of ego for Erik Erikson is entirely different. The ego, according to Erikson, is in service of the id, but in this process of serving id, it develops its own functions. It is ego's job to organize one's life and to assure continuous harmony with one's physical and social environment. Since Erikson stressed the autonomy and role of ego, we call his theory as ego psychology. बात आपसे हो रही है ईगो साइकोलॉजी की, और हमने कहा कि एरिक एरिक्सन इन हिज कॉन्सेप्ट ऑफ ईगो डिफर्स फ्रॉम सिगमंड फ्रॉइड. फॉर एरिक एरिक्सन ईगो इज समथिंग which is trying to serve the id, and in this process of serving the id, it develops its own functions, and these functions include striking a harmony between physical and social environment, यानी एक बैलेंस स्ट्राइक करने की जरूरत है. Now when we are talking about ego, well, according to Erik Erikson, an individual passes through 8 stages of development. At every stage of development, the ego gains or loses strength in the process of development. तो ये जो प्रोसेस ऑफ डेवलपमेंट है जिसमें से हर इंडिविजुअल गुजरता है, that according to Erikson consists of 8 stages, and at every stage the ego either gains or loses its strength. These stages of development, they are epigenetic. तो जनाब जब हम बात कर रहे हैं आपसे ईगो साइकोलॉजी की, तो दो फर्क आपके सामने रहने चाहिए. सबसे पहले फ्रॉइड इज टॉकिंग अबाउट ईगो एज द मास्टर कंट्रोल. Erikson is talking about ego serving the id, and in this process of serving the id, it develops its own functions. And as the ego passes through 8 stages of development, at every stage of development, either it gains strength or it loses its strength. तो दो फर्क हमें याद रहने चाहिए. वो ये है कि जो फ्रॉइड की थ्योरी ऑफ डेवलपमेंट है उसको आप साइकोसेक्चुअल स्टेजेस ऑफ डेवलपमेंट कहते हैं, और जो एरिक्सन की थ्योरी है उसको आप साइकोसोशल डेवलपमेंटल स्टेजेस ऑफ डेवलपमेंट कहते हैं. सो देयर इज डिफरेंस बिटवीन द टू. जनाब ये वो पॉइंट था जो हम आपसे डिस्कस करना रह गया था लेक्चर नंबर 3 में, जब हम एनाटॉमी एंड डेस्टिनी की बात कर रहे थे कि एरिक्सन इज फोकसिंग ऑन द फैक्ट दैट मेल्स एंड फीमेल्स कॉम्प्लीमेंट ईच अदर, नाइदर वन इज सुपीरियर. फ्रॉइड का ख्याल था मेल सुपीरियर है, कैरन हॉर्नी का ख्याल था कि नहीं मेल सुपीरियर नहीं है. एरिक्सन ने सबसे बेहतर बात की, उसने कहा मेल्स एंड फीमेल्स दे complement one another, and that is the best way of resolving a controversy. Dear students, let us begin with our lecture number 14, and in this lecture number 14 we are still talking to you about Erik Erikson's developmental theory of personality. और हमने ये कहा कि he developed a theory of personality which has a focus on social relationships. Number 2, it covers the entire lifespan of an individual. Let's take an example. The focus is the individual's social relationships such as that of peer, friends and colleagues. Number 2, entire lifespan such as from birth till retirement and beyond. तो जनाब बात आपसे कुछ यूं हो रही थी कि एरिक एरिक्सन is talking about social relationships, जिसमें हमने एग्जाम्पल लिया कि एन इंडिविजुअल्स पर्सनैलिटी डिवेलप्स एज अ रिजल्ट ऑफ सोशल रिलेशनशिप्स, peers, colleagues and friends. दूसरी तरफ हमने आपसे बात की कि his theory is very extensive because it is covering whole of the lifespan of an individual from birth till retirement and beyond up till death. So that is a very extensive theory. Now let us go through some of the core concepts of his theory. Core concepts की जब हम बात करेंगे तो इसमें सबसे पहले anatomy and destiny पे बात करेंगे, ईगो साइकोलॉजी पे बात करेंगे, 8 stages of development की बात करेंगे, गोल ऑफ साइकोथेरेपी देखेंगे, evaluate करेंगे थ्योरी को, कंपेयर करेंगे और इसकी एप्लीकेशन देखेंगे. Anatomy and destiny. According to Erikson, biology or genetics is one strong determinant of personality, but culture is another important determinant. Number 2, thus biologically determined differences between the two genders or sexes can be explained as a result of social expectations or cultural expectations. बात आपसे हो रही है एरिक एरिक्सन के कोर कॉन्सेप्ट्स की, और उसमें सबसे पहला कोर कॉन्सेप्ट है एनाटॉमी एंड डेस्टिनी, और उसमें हमने ये देखा पर्सनैलिटी इट इज फॉर्म्ड एज अ रिजल्ट ऑफ जेनेटिक्स एंड कल्चर. एंड नंबर 2, द डिफरेंसेस इन पर्सनैलिटी ऑफ द टू जेंडर्स इज ड्यू टू सोशल एंड कल्चरल एक्सपेक्टेशंस. द सेकेंड कोर कॉन्सेप्ट इज ईगो साइकोलॉजी. The ego, according to Erikson, is in the service of the id, but in this process of serving id, it develops its own functions. It is ego's job to organize one's life and to assure continuous harmony with one's physical and social environment, Since Erikson stressed the autonomy and role of ego, he called his theory as ego psychology. जनाब बात आपसे हो रही है ईगो साइकोलॉजी की. फॉर एरिक एरिक्सन, ego is in service of id, and while serving the id, it develops its own functions. जिन functions का सबसे important role और काम ये है that individual, there should be a continuous harmony in the physical and social environment in which the individual is living or surviving. और क्योंकि ईगो की ऑटोनमस रोल को इतना स्ट्रेस और एम्फसाइज किया गया है कि हम उसकी साइकोलॉजी को ईगो साइकोलॉजी कहते हैं. नाउ एज एन इंडिविजुअल पासेस थ्रू डिफरेंट स्टेजेस ऑफ डेवलपमेंट, ईगो आइदर गेन्स और लूजेस इट्स स्ट्रेंथ. तो जनाब 8 स्टेजेस ऑफ डेवलपमेंट की बात होगी आपसे, और उन 8 स्टेजेस ऑफ डेवलपमेंट में आइदर द ईगो इज गेनिंग समथिंग और लूजिंग इट्स स्ट्रेंथ. दूसरी अहम चीज दैट when an individual is passing through these 8 stages of development, these 8 stages of development, they follow the epigenetic principle. What is this epigenetic principle? This epigenetic principle states that a sequence of growth is genetically determined and that each stage, once developed, gives rise to the next one. The epigenetic principle refers to the fact that all the stages, they follow a sequence which is genetically determined, and once a stage is developed, the next one follows, or it gives rise to the next one. Now each stage is very important. Each stage of development is characterized by crisis, which can have a positive or a negative resolution. A positive resolution strengthens the ego, makes it stronger, and helps the individual in the adaptation process. On the other hand, a negative resolution weakens the ego, hinders or inhibits the adaptation process. So, as an individual is passing through each stage of development, either the ego is strengthened or it loses its strength. तो हमने कहा कि at each stage of development there is a crisis, and if the crisis is positively resolved, that strengthens the ego, that makes the ego strong. और जितनी ego strong होगी, that means the individual will be able to adjust to all the problems that he will encounter in life. On the other hand, if the crisis at any stage is not resolved, that is going to lower the strength of the ego, and that is going to lead to an individual जिसकी ego functioning poor होगी, and will come across a person who is maladjusted. Let's take an example. A positive resolution of the crisis, we see a healthy individual with a strong ego which helps in adaptation and adjustment to all situations. A negative resolution of crisis, we see an individual who's maladjusted. बात आपसे हो रही है कि पॉजिटिव रेजोल्यूशन और नेगेटिव रेजोल्यूशन की, और हमने कहा एज एन इंडिविजुअल इज पासिंग थ्रू एवरी स्टेज, he encounters a crisis, and if the crisis is resolved, that strengthens the ego, and we come across a person who's healthier and who's going to be able to take all stresses and face all the problems in life in a better way. If the crisis is not resolved, we come across a maladjusted individual. जनाब बात आपसे हो रही है कि एरिक एरिक्सन की पर्सनैलिटी थ्योरी की, और उसमें एक बहुत इम्पॉर्टेंट कंस्ट्रक्ट इज आइडेंटिटी. आइडेंटिटी, द सेंस ऑफ हु यू आर एंड वेयर यू आर गोइंग इन लाइफ. द emergence of identity is the end of childhood and beginning of adulthood. Identity is who you are and where you are going in life. और ये जहाँ पर आइडेंटिटी का कॉन्सेप्ट इमर्ज करना शुरू होता है, डेवलप करना शुरू होता है, वहाँ से हम कहते हैं चाइल्डहुड इज कमिंग टू एन एंड एंड अडल्टहुड इज इमर्जिंग। जनाब, अगर इंडिविजुअल फेसेस आइडेंटिटी क्राइसिस तो वी कम अक्रॉस टू थिंग्स, पॉजिटिव आइडेंटिटी और नेगेटिव आइडेंटिटी। सबसे पहले देखते हैं आइडेंटिटी क्राइसिस क्या है। The crisis in fifth stage of development where an individual gains either positive or negative identity. Positive identity, a person fully is aware who he is and what his goals in life are, certainly not contrary to goals of society. All behaviors of children which are rewarded. Negative identity, an identity that is contrary to goals of society, and all those things that the child is warned not to become. We are talking about identity, और हमने कहा identity से मुराद है who you are and what your goals in life are. दूसरी तरफ हमने बात की identity crisis की। हमने कहा कि identity crisis दो तरह के हैं, positive और negative. If an individual faces crisis at the fifth stage of his personality development, and if they are positively resolved, we come across an individual having a positive identity, and if the crises are not resolved, we come across an individual who has negative identity. Positive identity तो ये है कि the individual knows who he is and what his goals are, and these goals are certainly they are not in contradiction to the goals of the society. माशरा उसको जो कुछ सिखाना चाहता है, वैल्यू सिस्टम और अच्छी चीज़ें, वो उसके अंदर अगर आ रही हैं तो he has a positive identity. So all those things that the child is rewarded for, जब वो सच बोलता है, जब वो अच्छा काम करता है, तो these are the things which somehow strength become a part of his personality, और ये उसको एक positive identity देते हैं. Negative identity से मुराद हम लेते हैं all those things which the child is warned not to become. झूठ ना बोले, चोरी ना करे, बुरे कामों में ना पड़े, that is related to negative identity. Dear students, now let us go through the 8 stages of development which Erik Erikson is talking about. Number 1, basic trust versus basic mistrust from birth to 1 year. Number 2, autonomy versus shame and doubt from 1 to 3 years. Number 3, initiative versus guilt from 4 to 5 years. Number 4, industry versus inferiority 6 to 11 years. Number 5, identity versus role confusion from 12 to 20 years. Number 6, intimacy versus isolation from 20 to 24 years. Number 7, general activity versus stagnation from 25 to 65 years. Number 8, ego integrity versus despair 65 to death. बात आपसे हो रही है एरिक एरिक्सन की 8 डेवलपमेंटल स्टेजेस की, और हमने कहा एट एवरी स्टेज द आइदर द ईगो गेन्स और लूजेस इट्स स्ट्रेंथ, और हर स्टेज बहुत इम्पॉर्टेंट है. At every stage there is a crisis, and if the crisis is positively resolved, it adds to positive identity of the individual. और उसके अंदर अगर ये positively resolved हो तो एक virtue और एक अच्छाई उस individual के अंदर आएगी. And if the crisis is not resolved, it adds to negative identity. दूसरी चीज ये कि नेगेटिव आइडेंटिटी के साथ उसके अंदर कोई एक ऐसा बिहेवियर आएगा अबाउट विच द सोसाइटी डज नॉट वांट टू हैव दैट बिहेवियर इन दैट इंडिविजुअल. कोई वर्च्यू या कोई अच्छाई नहीं आ रही होगी. नंबर 2, with every negative identity and aspect and crisis that is there, it is going to lower the strength of the ego. And as a result, we are going to come across an individual who is going to be more maladjusted, who will not be in a position to face problems of life. Number 4, goal of psychotherapy. For Erik Erikson, the most important goal of psychotherapy is to strengthen your ego, to strengthen it to such a level that an individual is able to face all the problems in life. So सबसे अहम goal तो ये है. Now let's see what sort of theory we are talking about. Number 1, it is a psychosocial developmental theory. Number 2, for Erik Erikson, it is ego's job to organize one's life and to assure continuous harmony with one's physical social environment. And since Erikson stressed the autonomy of ego, we call his theory as ego psychology. Number 3, for Erikson, the conscious does not neglect the unconscious. It takes into account the social experience as well. Number 4, for Erikson, healthy people successfully pass through 8 stages of development and they acquire hope, willpower, competence, love, care, and wisdom. Number 5, for Erikson, religion is something that people need and people use religion to make the events of their lives more understandable and less threatening. Dear students, we are talking to you about Erik Erikson's theory. हमने कहा ये एक psychosocial developmental theory है. Number 2, Erikson is emphasizing on the role of ego. Number 3, Erikson is emphasizing on the role of conscious, unconscious and social experience. Number 4, Erikson gave us a new concept or pioneered a new discipline called psychohistory. Number 5, for Erikson, religion is something which all of us use, most of us use to make the events in our life more understandable and to have more meaning in life. ये मैं नहीं कह रही हूँ, ये एरिक एरिक्सन कह रहा है, आप उससे you have every right to disagree with him, but that is as far as Erik Erikson is concerned. He believes in the value of religion. Application of Erik Erikson's theory. Now this theory can be applied in the area of psychotherapy. It can be applied in the area of education. It can be applied in area of child rearing and development. उसके बाद जनाब, it has since he has given the construct and concept of psychohistory, जिसमें उसने बहुत सारे historical personalities को की personality analysis किए, जिसमें Martin Luther, Hitler and Mahatma Gandhi is concerned. So he analyzed their personality. जनाब बात आपसे कर रहे हैं हम एरिक एरिक्सन की पर्सनैलिटी थ्योरी के बारे में, और हमने आपको एक डिटेल्ड आउटलाइन दी. डियर स्टूडेंट्स, इन आवर लास्ट लेक्चर वी हैड डिस्कस्ड द टाइटल एंड द 8 stages of development. Now let us go through what virtues develop at each stage of development. 8 stages of human development. According to Erikson, every individual passes through 8 stages of development, and sequence of 8 stages is genetically determined and it is unchangeable, and this is labeled as epigenetic principle. बात आपसे हो रही है 8 stages of human development की, और हमने कहा कि these 8 stages of development, they follow a sequence, they are genetically determined and they follow the epigenetic principle. ये जो epigenetic principle है, ये 2 चीज़ों के बारे में आपको information देता है. Number 1, everything that grows has a ground plan. Number 2, and out of this ground plan the parts arise and each part grows up until all parts have grown to form a whole. Each stage of development is characterized by crisis. The crisis at each stage of development has a positive and a negative resolution. Each stage of development is characterized by crisis. A positive resolution strengthens the ego, makes it stronger, helps the individual in the adaptation process. On the other hand, a negative resolution weakens the ego, hinders or inhibits the adaptation process. A negative resolution lowers the likelihood that the next crisis will be resolved effectively. It is the social environment that determines whether or not the crisis associated with any stage is resolved positively. It is therefore labeled as psychosocial stages of development. बात आपसे हो रही है जनाब 8 stages of development की, और हमने कहा कि each stage of development follows the epigenetic principle, और epigenetic principle जो है it refers to the fact that the sequence of these developmental stages are genetically developed, genetically determined. Number 2, there are crises. At every stage, a crisis arises. And if the crisis is resolved positively, we see an individual's ego is strengthened, an individual acquires a virtue. And if the crisis is not resolved, there's a negative resolution of the crisis, we see that the ego loses its strength, or when it loses its strength, it becomes weaker. और जब वो weak होती है तो then it means effectively इस stage से अगली stage की तरफ proceed करना या जाना इतना आसान नहीं होगा. So we are talking about Erik Erikson's 8 stages of development. हमने कहा एरिक एरिक्सन की स्टेजेस ऑफ डेवलपमेंट को हम लेबल करते हैं साइकोसोशल स्टेजेस ऑफ डेवलपमेंट, और सिगमंड फ्रॉइड की स्टेजेस ऑफ डेवलपमेंट को बिल्कुल सही साइकोसेक्सुअल स्टेजेस ऑफ डेवलपमेंट आप कहते हैं. डियर स्टूडेंट्स, नाउ लेट अस गो थ्रू दीज स्टेजेस. नंबर 1, बेसिक ट्रस्ट वर्सेस मिसट्रस्ट. And in this basic trust versus mistrust from birth to 1 year, if crisis is successfully resolved, hope emerges, and if unsuccessfully resolved, fear emerges. तो पहली stage of development which is related with trust and mistrust, और अगर crisis यहाँ पे successfully जो है resolve हो तो we come and across an individual जिसके अंदर आपको trust नजर आएगा, होप नजर आएगी, और अगर क्राइसिस रिजॉल्व नहीं होगा तो देन दिस इंडिविजुअल इज गोइंग टू हैव मिसट्रस्ट, एंड नंबर 2 इज गोइंग टू डेवलप फियर. सेकेंड स्टेज ऑफ डेवलपमेंट, autonomy versus shame and doubt from 1 to 3 years. If crisis is successfully resolved, self-control, willpower emerges, and if unsuccessfully resolved, self-doubt emerges. Second stage of development जिसका focus है autonomy पे, और it is related to shame and doubt. बात ये है कि if crisis is resolved, we come across an individual who has self-confidence, self-control, willpower, determined individual. और अगर crisis resolve नहीं होगा तो we come across an individual who has doubts about himself. Stage number 3, initiative versus guilt. 4 to 5 years. If crisis is successfully resolved, we see direction and purpose emerges, and if unsuccessfully resolved, feelings of unworthiness emerge. जनाब तीसरी स्टेज जहाँ पे आपको नजर आता है कि ऐसा इंडिविजुअल जो कि किसी भी चीज का इनिशिएटिव ले सकते हैं, किसी चीज को शुरू करने की जुर्रत और हिम्मत रखता है. सो इफ क्राइसिस इज रिजॉल्व्ड एट दिस स्टेज, वी कम अक्रॉस अ पर्सन हु कैन टेक डायरेक्शन एंड पर्पस. और अगर क्राइसिस रिजॉल्व नहीं होता तो वी कम अक्रॉस एन इंडिविजुअल हु हैज फीलिंग्स ऑफ अनवर्दीनेस, यानी आई एम नॉट वर्थ एनीथिंग, आई जस्ट कैन नॉट डू एनीथिंग. स्टेज नंबर 4, इंडस्ट्री versus inferiority, 6 to 11 years. If crisis is successfully resolved, competence emerges, and if unsuccessfully resolved, incompetence emerges. Fourth stage of development, और ये फोर्थ स्टेज ऑफ डेवलपमेंट में वी कम अक्रॉस इंडस्ट्री वर्सेस इंफीरियोरिटी एंड इट इज फ्रॉम 6 to 11 years. और इसमें अगर इफ द कॉन्फ्लिक्ट इज रिजॉल्व्ड we come across an individual who is very competent, very hardworking, and if crisis is not resolved, we come across an individual who is incompetent. Stage number 5, identity versus role confusions from 12 to 20 years. If crisis is successfully resolved, fidelity emerges, and if unsuccessfully resolved, uncertainty emerges. This is the most important stage where identity development takes place. Otherwise, identity crisis or role confusion is there. जनाब, fifth important stage, that is identity versus role confusion. और यहाँ पर गौर कीजिएगा कि ये शुरू होती है कि 12 साल से and the more span is covered and goes up till 20 years. This is the most important stage of development. यहाँ पे जनाब identity, who am I, what are my goals, that is being developed. So जहाँ पर आइडेंटिटी डेवलप करना शुरू करती है वहाँ पे चाइल्डहुड खत्म और अडल्टहुड जो है वो बिगिन करता है. और हमने ये कहा कि इट्स वेरी इम्पोर्टेंट, इफ आइडेंटिटी डेवलप्स वी कम अक्रॉस एन इंडिविजुअल हु हैज फिडेलिटी, एंड इफ crisis is not resolved at this stage, we come across an individual who faces role confusion. Let's take an example. My identity as a Pakistani female begins to take shape at the age of 12 years. All the crises at this stage have to be resolved in order to strengthen my ego and to develop fidelity. Otherwise, I will suffer from role confusion. तो जनाब ये स्टेज सबसे अहम, माई आइडेंटिटी ऑफ अ पाकिस्तानी फीमेल and my social relationships related with that begins to develop at the age of 12, and all the crises that I have to come across, they have to be positively resolved in order to, so that I can have a positive identity, fidelity, competence. और अगर positively resolved नहीं हो रहे तो then I am going to have role confusion. I am going to be confused about my identity, no positive direction, no fidelity. Dear students, we are talking about stages of development. Sixth stage of development, that is intimacy versus isolation from 20 to 24 years. If crisis is resolved, capacity for love emerges, and if unsuccessfully resolved, hatred and disgust emerges. So sixth stage of development. यहाँ पे हम देखते हैं intimacy versus isolation. और अगर crisis resolve होगा तो we come across an individual who is very loving and caring. और अगर नहीं तो we come across an individual who would socially like to withdraw from people. Seventh stage, general activity versus stagnation from 25 years to 65 years. If crisis is successfully resolved, care emerges, and if unsuccessfully resolved, selfishness emerges. So, Janab, this seventh stage of development, which is related with general activity versus stagnation, dear students, just look at this stage. It begins when the individual is 25 years and goes up till when he is 65. See how extensive period it covers. Number 2, it is focusing on the most active period of the life of an individual, when he is actively engaged in work. So when he is actively engaged in work in all spheres of his life, the conflicts or the crises that arise, if they are not resolved, well, that leads to selfishness in individual. And if the crises are resolved, we come across a very caring sort of an individual. Stage number 8, ego integrity versus disappear, 65 to death. If crisis is successfully resolved, wisdom emerges, and if unsuccessfully resolved, feelings of despair and meaninglessness in life emerges. Janab, ego integrity versus disappear. Now that is related with an area of the life of an individual when one has reached a ripe age in life, 65, and it goes up till death. So if conflicts are there and crises are there and these crises are resolved, we come across an individual who possesses a lot of wisdom, who looks back to his life with something that he can share with the new generation. He can pass on words of wisdom, advice, suggestion to the next generation. और अगर ऐसा नहीं, crisis resolve नहीं हुए, तो we come across a person who's very disgusted, who's very angry, who's most of the time involved in meaninglessness, does not have any meaning or purpose in his life. So, dear students, we are talking about 8 stages of development, और हर stage of development जो है वो important है. At every stage of development, a value, a virtue is developing if the crisis is being resolved. और अगर crisis resolve नहीं हो रहा, तो then it is adding to a loss or weakening of the ego. So dear students, we are talking to you about Erik Erikson's 8 developmental stages, और हमने कहा हर developmental stage important है और हर stage पे एक crisis है, और अगर वो crisis positively resolve होता है तो we come across the development of a virtue, a good quality in an individual, और अगर वो resolve नहीं होता तो then it somehow lowers the strength of the ego. Goal of psychotherapy. According to Erikson, the patient's ego should be strengthened to such a level at which it can cope with life's problem. Rehabilitation can be made more effective and economical if the clinician focuses on patient's life plan and advise him to strengthen the elements of his ego identity. Dear students, the goal of psychotherapy for Erik Erikson is to strengthen the individual's ego to such a level that he is able to face all the problems in his life. और जितनी ज़्यादा ego जो है वो strengthen होगी, that is going to add to positive identity of the individual. Now let us evaluate his theory. Let us see what are the strengths of his theory. Evaluation. Number 1. It is a useful guide to understanding personality. Number 2. His theory is a psychosocial developmental theory where an individual passes through 8 comprehensive stages of development. Number 3. He utilized his theory to analyze the lives of several well-known historical figures and created a new discipline called psychohistory. जनाब, बात आपसे हो रही है एरिक एरिक्सन की पर्सनैलिटी थ्योरी की, और हमने कहा कि अगर हम इस थ्योरी को एवेलुएट करें तो कुछ चीज़ें हमारे सामने बड़ी वाज़ेह होती हैं. नंबर 1, इट इज़ अ वेरी यूजफुल गाइड फॉर अंडरस्टैंडिंग पर्सनैलिटी डेवलपमेंट. अगर हम पर्सनैलिटी को और पर्सनैलिटी डेवलपमेंट को अंडरस्टैंड करना चाहते हैं, बेहतर तौर पे समझना चाहते हैं, तो ये एक बहुत अच्छी गाइड. नंबर 2, हिज थ्योरी इज अ साइको सोशल डेवलपमेंटल थ्योरी. जब हमने बात शुरू की थी इस लेक्चर में आपके साथ, तो हमने कहा था एरिक एरिक्सन का फोकस है ऑन सोशल रिलेशनशिप्स. ही थिंक्स that personality develops as a result of genetics, culture, और तीसरी चीज है जो जेंडर डिफरेंसेस हैं वो हमारे सामने इसलिए आते हैं बिकॉज ऑफ सोशल एंड कल्चरल एक्सपेक्टेशंस. सो हिज इज अ सोशल साइकोलॉजिकल सोशल डेवलपमेंटल थ्योरी. तीसरी important चीज, he is talking about that every individual passes through 8 stages of development, और हर स्टेज पे एक क्राइसिस है, और अगर वो क्राइसिस रिजॉल्व हो जाए तो we come across a virtue, a good quality in the person, और अगर क्राइसिस रिजॉल्व नहीं हो रहा तो then we come across a negative identity, a quality, an attribute which somehow doesn't help the person. उसके बाद the fourth important thing, it was Erik Erikson who utilized his theory in trying to study and analyze the lives of some famous political leaders like Hitler, then Martin Luther and Gandhi, and he pioneered a discipline called psychohistory. तो जनाब बात आपसे हो रही है एरिक एरिक्सन की थ्योरी की. So let us compare his theory with Sigmund Freud's personality theory. For Freud, there is psychosexual theory of development. Number 2, for Freud, ego is important. It is the master control. It maintains a balance between it and superego. Number 3, for Freud, the unconscious mind, the unconscious conflicts are important. For Freud, psychotherapy helps in understanding the unconscious mechanisms using techniques such as dream analysis and free association. For Freud, he took a very dim view of religion and said it was merely a collective neurosis based on fears and desires. बात आपसे हो रही है फ्रॉइड की, जिसकी थियरी जो है वो साइकोसेक्चुअल है. नंबर 2, फोकस अनकॉन्शियस पे है. टेक्निक्स जो है अनकॉन्शियस को रीच करने की वो ड्रीम एनालिसिस है, फ्री एसोसिएशन है. एंड फॉर फ्रॉइड, रिलीजन इज अ कलेक्टिव न्यूरोसिस. रिलीजन की कोई मीनिंग फ्रॉइड के लिए नहीं. नाउ लेट अस कंपेयर इट विद एरिक एरिक्सन. Erik Erikson, number 1, it is a psychosocial theory. Number 2, for Erikson, it is ego's goal to organize one's life and to assure continuous harmony with one's physical and social environment. Since Erikson stressed the autonomy of ego, we call his theory as ego psychology. Number 3, for Erikson, the conscious does not neglect the unconscious, and it takes into account the social experience as well. Number 4, for Erikson, healthy people successfully pass through 8 stages of development, and they acquire the attributes of hope, willpower, competence, fidelity, love, care, and wisdom. And very important for Erikson, religion is something that people need, and humans use religion to make the events of their lives more understandable and less threatening. Dear students, we are talking to you about Erik Erikson's theory, और हमने इस theory को compare किया सिगमंड फ्रॉइड की theory के साथ, और हमने ये देखा कि it is a psychosocial developmental theory. नंबर 2, हमने ये देखा कि यहाँ पर फोकस जो है वो ईगो साइकोलॉजी के ऊपर है. नंबर 3, हमने ये देखा कि एरिक एरिक्सन के लिए कॉन्शियस, अनकॉन्शियस और सोशल इन्फ्लुएंस, सोशल एक्सपेक्टेशंस, कल्चरल एक्सपेक्टेशंस पर्सनैलिटी डेवलपमेंट में बड़ा इम्पोर्टेंट रोल प्ले करती हैं. Then we have come across something very interesting, that according to Erikson, every individual passes through 8 stages of development, and at every stage of development there is a crisis. और अगर ये crisis resolve हो जाता है positively, तो कुछ value, virtues और qualities individual में develop होती हैं, और ये qualities उसकी ego को strengthen करती हैं, इतना strengthen करती हैं कि that individual can face all problems of life. फिर सबसे अहम चीज, for Erikson, religion is a means, a method which individual uses to understand different events of his life. So religion एरिक एरिक्सन के लिए बहुत अहम है, और ये एक ऐसा जरिया है जिससे इंडिविजुअल जो है वो अपनी जिंदगी के मुख्तलिफ वाकयात को समझने की कोशिश करता है. जबकि फ्रॉइड के लिए रिलीजन एक कलेक्टिव न्यूरोसिस का नाम. डियर स्टूडेंट्स, we have talked to you about Erik Erikson's personality theory, और इसमें जनाब हमने आपसे बात की anatomy and destiny की, ego psychology की, 8 stages of human development की, उसके बाद हमने goal of psychotherapy आपके साथ डिस्कस किया, एरिक एरिक्सन की थ्योरी की एप्लीकेशंस देखी, एरिक एरिक्सन की थ्योरी को हमने कंपेयर किया सिगमंड फ्रॉइड की पर्सनालिटी थ्योरी के साथ. Dear students, I hope you have enjoyed listening to this very interesting psychosocial developmental theory of Erik Erikson as much as I have enjoyed talking to you. It is best if you can go through the PowerPoint slides and the Word document that is available on the web page of Personality Psychologist. और इस पर्सनैलिटी साइकोलॉजी के कोर्स में जिसमें हम थियरीज ऑफ पर्सनैलिटी आपके लिए कवर करें, इफ़ यू कम अक्रॉस एनी प्रॉब्लम, डू कीप इन टच, डू टॉक टू अस. टेक वेरी गुड केयर ऑफ योर सेल्फ. होप टू सी यू इन द नेक्स्ट लेक्चर. Up till then, it's Khuda Hafiz.